That's cool.
Okay.
Part 2, playing the record.
Playing a record. Place record on turntable. Most important part. Never take needle and put on a non-moving record. Never. That's a definite never. Anytime the needle touches the record must be moving. It's kind of like airplanes don't land straight down because they crash. Airplanes land like this for a reason, so the weight of the airplane is spread out over a distance. Same concept with the record. Needle on cartridge, diamond, hardest substance known to man. Vinyl record, very soft substance, nowhere near a match for a needle. That's why the record must always be moving when the needle touches the record on, or you take the needle off, it must be spinning. Thus, to cue up, needle on the record.
On the record.
Listen for cueing. There's the beginning. Now that the needle is already on the record and the needle went on as it was spinning, after the needle is on, it's all right to stop it. Never put a needle on a non-moving record. To cue up, there we go. We're at the beginning of the song. This is ready to play. So last song ends. Sweet Lord,
all right.
Now, at the end of the record, record's done, record's still moving, remove needle, then stop.
Okay.
Once again, never put the needle on a record that's not moving. The other method would be to cue up, would be to use this cue lever. See?
Okay,
cue lever.
that's the cue lever.
This picks up the tone arm and drops the tone arm down, ideally, when it works properly. So another way to cue up, if you don't have a steady hand or you're not really used to putting needles on records and haven't been doing it for decades, up with the cue arm, you can put it over the record or anywhere over the tracks that you want to play. Get a close look, make sure you are indeed over the vinyl record, and bring the lever back down.
Hey Lou, what was your first Grateful Dead show?
1982, Alpine Valley.
All right.
August 8th.
August 8th, 1980, Grateful Dead show. You guys remember that because pop quiz.
Okay.
So that's fine. Right? No, is that, okay, cool, there we go. Voila.
And this is difficult because the turntables are not working very well.
Right.
Cue lever up, cue lever down.
Now, what are some common mistakes that you see with this? I know you said something about the clamping.
The most common mistakes that I notice when we come in here are people tend to cue lever up,
Okay.
and they bring the record tone arm all the way over, and then they use this clamp which will hold the tone arm in place when you're moving a turntable. Cue arm up, clamp on. This part is pushing up, the clamp is pushing it down.
Okay.
It ends up screwing up this whole part in here where it always wants to push up harder,
Right.
and it's always trying to go down, and that fight ends up messing up the turntable. Thus, anytime that you clamp the tone arm, this must be down, and there's even a note right here, cue down before clamping.
Okay.
Should be simple enough.
Cool.
Very important.
And can you tell us a little bit about how the weight system works over there?
The way a weight system works on a turntable's tone arm, it's a counterbalance system. This is the counterbalance back here. This is the tone arm, and the cartridge is here. the way to zero it out, which it doesn't really need to be done, it should only be done once and it should be set, doesn't need to be reset ever for
Okay.
any circumstances. Only when you change the new cartridge does it need to be reset. The way to reset it, or to set it, is you'll see a line right over these numbers. There's a line on the back of the tone arm. It's just a line. You put 0. Align this. This moves independently from the weight. So use 0. And the way to make sure it's 0 is it doesn't stay up and it doesn't stay down. It just sort of floats right in the middle. And that's just about floating in the middle. Thus, you hold tone arm. It's at 0. Instructions with the stylus will tell you how much pressure to put on it. The way it works is you adjust the back weight, counterweight. 0.5 is a half gram of weight on the front. 1 is 1 gram of weight, and most cartridges use between 1 and 1.5 grams of weight to play records.
So is that something that should be automatically set then when the DJs come in?
It's automatically set. The only
Okay.
time that this
They
ever
shouldn't be
needs-
touching that, right?
Don't touch it.
Okay, don't touch it.
The only
Everyone
time
hear
it-
that? Don't touch that.
Only time it needs adjustment is when a new cartridge
Okay, I
is
have a
put
feeling a
on.
lot of people have been touching those. So, okay. So also one thing I did want to add is see that Laurie's Planet of Sound. We never want the needle on there. That's a huge no-no. Once the record's off, it should definitely be returned.
Yeah, this is not a
to its
record.
position. Yeah, no, and okay, and again, of course, do not put the needle on the record that's not moving. But once the needle's on the record moving, you can then stop it, and that's no problem. Go ahead and show us that. So this is okay.
Record goes
Record's
round.
moving.
Put needle on.
And then you can stop it. So that's cool. But just placing that needle on a steady record that's not moving is not okay.
The only way to take this needle off now
Is to start it
moving.
again, right, and then remove it while it's moving. How did you become the turntable master, Lou?
I have been playing records since my parents had a Victrola,
That's
which
what I
was
have.
a mono giant piece of furniture in a cabinet with a drawer that comes out with a turntable in it, and you put the record in there and you play the records in there. And you really can't close the drawer because the record will start skipping because it has to be stable. And it was mono and it was old. And I've been playing records since I was about 6, 7 years old.
Cool. How long you been a wizard?
I've been a wizard since 1994,
Okay.
nonstop.
1994,
Very
nonstop.
proud.
All right, our
He's a
Saturday
great-
Night Wizard. Hopefully some of you have met him. He's a great trainer. Try and train with him. Anything else for them?
Try not to play any commercial music. There's no reason for us to play commercial stuff. So if you know what the music is and you're familiar with it, you probably shouldn't be playing it.
Okay. And if you don't know, ask.
If you don't know, ask.
Yeah, we can always tell you what's commercial and what's not. All right, thanks so much, Lou. Thanks so much, Wizards. Keep an eye out for those, or an ear out for those pop questions.